I'm here to interview Don Hernan Cortez, who was born in 1485 in Medellin, Spain. He came from a lesser noble family in Spain and studied at the University of Salamanca. In 1504, he left to seek fortune in the New World and traveled to the island of Santo Domingo, or Hispaniola, settling in the new town of Azua, where he served as a notary for several years. He later joined the expedition of Cuba led by Diego Velázquez. In 1511, there he worked in the civil government and served as the mayor of Santiago for a time. He then went on his expedition of Mexico, and that is what he is most well known for. Please welcome Don Hernan Cortez. Yay! Tell me how it felt to leave home at 19 years old, and what inspired you to do so.
On November 8th, 1519, I headed towards the Aztecs, who were led by Montezuma II, in the capital of Tenochtitlan. It took me 3 months of sailing across difficult terrain, and I wanted to ensure my fellow conquistadors wouldn't escape. So I burnt our ships after we arrived. Montezuma II welcomed me because it was rumored that I was a white god from the east, and he even gave me gifts upon my arrival. But things quickly turned, as I had to take hostage of him and his people.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. So, what do you think of the British colonization of Canada and America? Do you think it's similar to what you did, or is it very different?
I think it's very different because I was the original. The British took over because their need of resources and greed. I took over hundreds of indigenous groups in the New World and introduced smallpox as a disease.
Oh, that's awesome. Why did you take hostage of Montezuma II?
Well, my plan was to capture him and hold him hostage for a very high ransom to be paid by his subjects.
Interesting methods. What was the reaction of the Aztec people upon your arrival?
Well, they were very welcoming. They gave us gold, they gave us women. But, over time, some historians have said that it's because, the legend has it, the white man is coming to help them. But little did they know I had other plans. They were so welcoming. I wanted more. I wanted all the riches I could get. And with that, it didn't matter if I wiped out their civilians with, warfare or disease. I needed what I needed.
Oh, wow. What do your famous words, "I and my companions suffer from a disease of the heart that can only be cured by gold," mean?
Well, the Aztecs were enthralled with my sparkles, with my gold, what I had, and they were interested and asked why, and that was, my response. Only a fool wouldn't love gold, and that's what I was there to get. I was there to destroy their golden artifacts and, make it mine.
Wow. Do you consider yourself to be a Spanish conquistador?
Of course, my success conquering the Aztec Empire and setting sail to the New World at only 19 years old. In 1511, I set sail from the Dominican Republic to Cuba, and I helped Diego Velázquez in his conquest on the island and made my reputation to be, courageous and daring. I persuaded Diego, after he became the governor, to make me commander of the expedition and take over the Aztec Empire, which, contained so much wealth. Shortly after the governor found out that I was on a conquest and not exploring, they sent a small army to capture me because I wasn't rightfully doing what I was supposed to.
What would you do differently if you could do something differently?
Well, I think I executed everything pretty well. If I could change something, maybe taking more gold from the Aztec people, or to try to get more praise from the people in Spain, because when I returned, I really didn't get the recognition I feel like I deserved.
Okay. What challenges did you face on your expeditions?
Well, of course, with any great adventure, there will always be challenges. My men were outnumbered by the Aztec enemies. It was a few hundred of my men versus a few 100,000 of theirs. That wasn't going to stop me, though. I suppose there may have been ethical challenges too. Myself and my men were responsible for the death of thousands of indigenous men and women. I brought over smallpox, I enslaved the Aztecs, stole their gold, melted it down, and sent it back to Spain.
Wow. Do you regret what you did to the Aztec people?
No, not at all. If anything, I feel like I deserved more recognition for what I did. When I came back to Spain, people really didn't care about me, and that was shocking.
Wow. Do you regret what you did to the Aztec people?
No, I think if anything, I really deserved more recognition. I came back to Spain, and no one was happy with what I did, and I feel like I did a lot. I hurt a lot, but it is what it is.
Wow. That was Don Hernan Cortez. In 1528, the Spanish civilians feared he was becoming too powerful, so he was forced to return to Spain, where the king reinstated him as captain general, but not to the position of civil governor. On his return to Mexico, his powers were significantly limited, and his activities were monitored. He continued to explore Central America, hoping to find a path straight from the Pacific to the Atlantic, but could not, instead discovering and naming California. He was the Spanish conquistador that destroyed the entire empire of the Aztec people, and claimed Mexico for the Spanish crown. Thank you, Don Hernan Cortez, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.